Hello and welcome to a new section. In this new section, we are going to learn how to write external keygens. As you have seen in the previous lessons, there are two types of keygens. The first one is called self-keygen, and this is where we patch the software to display the serial key, and we have completed that one. And the second way is to write an external keygen. This is where we will write a separate program to implement the algorithm that creates the serial key. An external keygens can be either command line based or GUI based. In this section, I'm going to show you how to write an external keygen. There is a workflow that you can use when creating an external keygen. Step 1. Patch the target software to create a self-keygen first. Why do you need to patch the software to create a self-keygen first? Because that is the easier way to create a keygen. And you need to have a self-keygen in order to study the output. That way, based on the observation of the output of the serial key from the self-keygen, you will get a better understanding of how the serial key is being generated. You can also use the self-keygen to test your external keygen when doing the coding. Second, study the disassembly and locate minimal instructions which generate the serial key. The disassembly here is referring to the x64 DBG debugger, which is used to debug the software that you are targeting. So the step here involves locating the instructions that are actually generating the serial key. And you will find that there are many lines of code sometimes, but you need to narrow it down to only those few lines which are actually generating the important part of the serial key. So that is what we mean by minimal. Number 3, copy those instructions out using copy to awesome plugin. So a copy to awesome plugin is a plugin that you need to install in the x64 DBG in order to allow you to select regions of the disassembled code to copy to a separate file. Step 4. Paste the copied instructions into the keygen template. The keygen template has been discussed in the previous session, and this template is a sample assembly code which you can use and modify in order to become an external keygen for the target software that you are trying to create a keygen for. Step 5. Modify the instructions of the keygen template. You will need to modify the variable names, the addresses, and a few other things as well. Step 6. Run and compare the serial key with the self-keygen serial key. So this is where the self-keygen becomes useful. So after you modify your keygen template with the pasted code, you need to test it. And how would you know that the serial key generated is correct? You can compare it against the self-keygen serial key. If your external keygen can produce the same serial key as your self-keygen, that means you have correctly written your external keygen. Step 7. Repeat from step 2 or step 5 until the serial key matches with the self-keygen. So this is an iterative steps that you need to repeat a few times, many times maybe, until you get it right. Your first trial most probably you will get a lot of errors and maybe even wrong keygens. So you need to repeat. Sometimes you need to repeat from step 2. Maybe you've copied the wrong part of the code, and so you have to go back to step 2 and analyze again and copy out different parts. Or sometimes you need to go back to step 5. Maybe your modification that you did was not optimal, or maybe even wrong. So you might need to repeat these steps many times until your external keygen produces a serial key that matches with the self keygen's serial key. So once you've done that, it means you've successfully created an external keygen. So that's all for this workflow explanation. In the next lesson, we will start with our practical on how to do the external keygen. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you then.